Hi everyone, this is Nastasia from Matryoshka Tips channel. Let's talk about something simple but powerful, your words. The way you describe your life, your emotions, your goals, your relationships. That's what Jordan Peterson focuses on in rule number 7 from 12 Rules for Life. Be precise in your speech. And if you've never read the book, Peterson is a Canadian psychologist and professor who teaches people, especially men, how to bring more structure, responsibility, and clarity into their lives. This particular rule might not sound as intense as some of the others, but it's one of the most practical. Because your ability to say exactly what you mean, not, like passively, but clearly, affects every part of your life. It shapes how people treat you. It shapes the quality of your relationships. It shapes your ability to solve problems instead of feeling overwhelmed by them. Think about it. When something's bothering you, but you can't name it clearly, it lingers, it festers, it often gets worse. But the moment you sit down and say it out loud, simply and truthfully, you take back control. That's the power of precision. And this isn't just about how you talk to others. It's about how honest you're willing to be with yourself. From my experience, I can tell you, men who speak with precision are instantly more respected. You don't have to talk a lot. You don't have to explain everything. You just have to say exactly what's true, what you feel, what you need, what's happening. And that kind of clarity is rare because it requires two things: courage and awareness. Courage to say what might be uncomfortable, and awareness to even recognize what you're feeling in the first place. That's not something many men are taught, actually. Most of you grew up being told to be strong, to get over it, or to stay quiet until something explodes. So it makes sense that when someone asks how you're doing, the automatic answer is, "I'm fine," even when you're not. But what if instead of saying, "I'm just tired," you said, "I feel lost," or "I feel like no one's really listening to me lately"? That's precision. It's vulnerable, yes, but it's also powerful. Because now the people around you can actually respond to the real issue. You're no longer sending mixed signals, you're building connection through the truth. Peterson says that if you can't define a problem clearly, you can't solve it. And that applies to everything. If you can't explain what you want out of a relationship, it will stay confusing. If you can't describe what's going wrong at work, it won't improve. If you can't admit what you're afraid of, that fear just grows in the background. Precision brings things into focus. It forces you to slow down, to sit with your thoughts, and to find the real words, not just the easy ones. And you don't have to get poetic. You don't need a big vocabulary. You just need to be honest and direct. For example, instead of saying things are kind of off, say, "I've been waking up late every day and I feel like I'm falling behind." Or instead of saying, "We don't really talk anymore," say, "I feel like we've stopped sharing what actually matters." And that kind of language doesn't leave space for confusion. It gives people in your life something to work with. It gives you something to work with. And even if the truth is hard to hear, at least now you're dealing with what's real, not what's, assumed or imagined. So when Peterson says, be precise in your speech, he's not telling you to speak more. He's telling you to speak better, to speak with intention, to stop softening your truth until it's unrecognizable, and to stop expecting people to read your mind. When you speak clearly, your life actually starts to organize itself around that clarity. People know where you stand, you make better decisions, you avoid drama, you take problems seriously, and you get better at solving them. And the more you practice this, the more natural it feels. So the next time you're tempted to say, "I don't know, it's just complicated," stop yourself, take a breath, get specific. What exactly are you feeling? What exactly do you need? What exactly isn't working? That precision might feel uncomfortable at first, but it will save you so much unnecessary conflict later. Because the truth is, you can't grow from a place of confusion. You can only grow from clarity. So say what you mean, say it calmly, say it cleanly, and say it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy my content, I invite you to join my Patreon, where I give real advice about meeting Eastern European women online, understanding their culture, and navigating those connections with more calm and clarity. I also offer one-on-one chat there if you ever want direct guidance. I'm Anastasia, and this is Matryoshka Tips. I'll see you in the next one, and I hope tomorrow is day one.